Hi internet friends, this is an emergency broadcast. The magical unicorn sent me a link. We have to look at it. We have to really talk in the near future. I'm working on a large video to do with Roger Stone, Army intelligence, sexual compromise and Epstein. But what we really need to talk about urgently is this polarization that's going on right now. And the only solution Alex Jones has, got to understand, you can hate Alex Jones all you like. Alex Jones is so big you have no idea. They are now doing car rallies of American patriots. They've got to hit the streets and confront the Maoist commies. They're not confronting Wall Street and the bankers and the Rothschild and the City of London and the party of Davos and Bilderberger. No, that Alex Jones just started refining the word Rothschild about 6 weeks ago after we hammered him. He decided, gee, I better mention the bankers again. I haven't mentioned them for 2 years. But this polarization is being fed. This polarization is out of control. And now the only solution Alex Jones has is you better hit the streets and cause a little cataclysmic little war, because that's what they're looking for. And here's what Steve Pieczenik, Kissinger's right-hand man, remember when he said this? This is in video 61. Trump, Kissinger, Pieczenik, Kushner, Army intelligence, Shadowgate in action. I want you to think about what he says at the very, very start. Then we're going to look at an article called The Rise of Independent Cities, but at what cost? And you're going to see it all come together. UN, smart cities, devolution of government, everything Pieczenik talks about. You're getting shafted. You're getting shafted right now, both sides. Republican, Democrat, it's just the dialectic.
I have never been an aficionado of the Constitution. The reason for it, it's outdated. And what's happening now is we're coming into a new realism, a hyper-realism, where the states become more important. The devolution of power from the federal government, I told you, it's happening very quickly.
The states become more important in the devolution of power. Watch the whole video. Watch the whole video. Now, let's go and read this article. Thank you to the Magical Unicorn. This is by Paul Newman, 4th of December 2017. The rise of independent cities, but at what cost? There is a change happening under our very noses. The power of nations is dwindling. And devolution, there's that key word, the devolution of power, Pieczenik said. And devolution is gathering momentum slowly but surely. Cities are being allowed to forge their own paths and set up their own agendas. This is the rise of the city-state again. The Smart Cities program, you'll see it all come together. But just before we read on, remember this. Remember Werner Falk, Amitai Etzioni. He was a German Jew who went to Israel, served in the Israeli Defense Force, and was an extremist terrorist based in Haganah. He changed his name from Werner Falk to Amitai Etzioni. He's the founder of the communitarian movement, and I bet Steve Pieczenik is mates with him. Pieczenik, of course, was a Cuban Jew. He was a Jew. His family escaped the Holocaust from Europe and ended up in Cuba. He was born in Cuba. Then they made their way from Cuba to America. Interestingly, Roger Stone's wife is also a Cuban American, and in the following video to come, you will see the links I have made with that little lot. But there's Amitai Etzioni, communitarian movement. Remember him. Remember the Hegelian dialectic, a framework for guiding thoughts and actions into conflicts that lead to synthetic solutions, which can only be introduced once those being manipulated take a side that will advance the predetermined agenda, controlled opposition, problem, reaction, solution. Hence why Alex Jones is pushing this confrontation on the streets right now. He doesn't have anything intelligent to say. He doesn't have anything to say about just flyers. He makes $20,000 to $40,000 a week in his own pocket. He was turning over 4 years ago $30 to $50 million a month, and he's already screaming, I'm poor, please send me more money. He's got no solution. He won't even pay for flyers. He won't tell you to get out on the streets. He won't tell you to educate the military. You just sit on your ass and watch. And then if you do have to get up, Alex Jones says, get your guns, put American flags on the back of your truck, and confront the lunatic Marxist meth heads on the street. That's a dialectic. That's a dialectic. And that's Alex Jones, if you hadn't already noticed. Remember what Netanyahu stated in 1990 in the Finks bar in Tel Aviv. You guarantee he has never renounced and never ever stated that he never said this. This has been around for 20 years, this statement. It's never been renounced. And if you know Netanyahu, you know he said this. If we get caught, they will just replace us with persons of the same cloth. So it does not matter what you do. America is a golden calf, and we will suck it dry, chop it up and sell it off piece by piece until there is nothing left but the world's biggest welfare state that we will create and control. Why? Because it is the will of God, and America is big enough to take the hit, so we can do it again and again and again. Those words are well reported. Just remember this stuff. Remember AOC, she's going to be a part of this, the new new age thing that's coming. Designed in Israel, made in China, UN Habitat, Smart Cities program, and of course, capitalism plus communism. The synthesis is the communitarian movement, and Nikki Rapana, I believe, is making a comeback. If you don't know who Nikki Rapana is, you really need to go and buy her book she made with her daughter Frederick Nordica, Nikki Rapana and Nikki Nordica Frederick, 2020, Our Common Destiny, the Anti-Communitarian Manifesto. I do believe it was released in 2006. So this has been coming a while, okay? I may be doing some chats about this later, but this is not my stuff. I just go over things superficially. You've got to have the specialist step in to give you an overall broad picture. So after you saw Dr. Steve Pieczenik, best mates with Henry Kissinger for the past 40 years. You've seen Henry Kissinger come into the White House. You're now talking, Pieczenik is now saying that's Alex Jones' handler. They've been together for 20 years. I thought he came on board in 2008. No, Alex Jones was founded by an Army intelligence linked US State Department, Henry Kissinger man. Think about it. He stated, we've been together 20 years, Alex. That's Kissinger, the ultimate deep state rat. Hello? All right, I defended that little fat pumpkin head. Now you know why they killed Bill Cooper and put Alex Jones on the bolted horse. And he's been sitting there waiting for this moment ever since. And I don't believe Alex Jones even, he doesn't even know. He's so clueless. He's a major drug habit, got himself cleaned up, major prostitute fetish. He's got a lot of problems if you haven't noticed. Let's go back to this article. The rise of independent cities, but at what cost? Mayors are becoming abundant, and with the mayors, and this is like the Hunger Games, where the mayors become superstars, as the magical unicorn stated in a recent text to me. Mayors are becoming abundant, and with the mayors comes the autonomy to act on behalf of a city, setting policies and spending plans outside of nationwide policy. Now, while Vladimir Putin centralizes power, while Xi Jinping centralizes power, while they're all forced together via the sanctions, Iran and China and Russia and Israel are being forced together, the UAE and Saudi are being forced together via the sanctions into a huge trading bloc, the Pan-Eurasian superstate. This is Rothschild's dream. He tried to do it under Stalin, couldn't get it done. Tried to do it with Hitler in the United States of Europe, still hasn't got it done. But it's coming together now, and Trump will pull back the United States, pull back into North America or South America, and you will cheer. The technology transfers continue. As they cut off direct technology transfer from the US to China and Russia, Israel becomes more important, becomes the controller, because China and Russia must have the technology. And the technology transfers will continue under Trump, guaranteed. Israel and America are now welded together under the Bird, the Bard, and the BSF and others, and we'll talk about it. Elon Musk, another Israeli front fraud, the autistic idiot who Steve Bannon went after. All right, he's a front man. He has no clue how his own company operates, and this SpaceX and privatization of NASA is just another technology transfer, just as Bill Binney said in the documentary A Good American. They privatized the National Security Agency and subcontracted it out to transfer the technology and the data. That's what they're up to. And Donald Trump's going to form the North American Union. They may even integrate Mexico into the United States. They'll develop North America and South America. They'll have their Cold War standoff. They'll build robots and drones. China will build robots and drones. America will build robots and drones. And then they'll say, oh, booga booga, and the dialectic. We got to build robots and drones. We got to do AI. China's doing it, man. You don't want China to take over, man. And they're all run by Rothschild in the City of London. And then boom, Agenda 2030, boom, they bang out those autonomous vehicles, 5G, integrated AI, and they F us all. That's what's coming. And we need to stop it. Back to the article. These individuals will represent different political parties, different faiths, and different ideologies. Surely a recipe for disaster, or is it? One organisation we have had our eye on for quite a while now is Common Purpose. You know what Common Purpose is? Even Alex Jones talks about Common Purpose, but he never integrates it all. Let's have a look at what their own website says. Quote, boundaries are everywhere between sectors, specialisations, geographies, generations, backgrounds, and beliefs. We think leaders who can work across these boundaries are far more likely to solve problems and create change. The world is becoming more complex and fragmented. I wonder why that is. Common Purpose believes that the best leaders, this is the synthesis of the chaos to come. The world is becoming more complex and fragmented. Common Purpose believes that the best leaders are able to lead across boundaries, and especially lead people with diverse perspectives from different backgrounds, beliefs, generations, geographies, specializations, and sectors. Our programs help leaders develop their cultural intelligence. It's like I'm reading a Communist Manifesto, all right? And I have to be honest, the trick, the trick with this whole thing is it sounds so damn good. I've repeated the Communitarian Manifesto word for word, having never read it. Never have I read it, and I was repeating that stuff 15, 20 years ago, off my own thoughts. Even the elect will be deceived if that were possible. What's coming will deceive even the elect. No one is deceived by Corona. No one is deceived by Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci. It's a setup. Trump is the hero. Trump's going to save the day. And Alex Jones is going to save the day. And you're going to clap. You watch. You watch. And then you're going to get the devolution of power, as Dr. Steve Pieczenik, Kissinger's right-hand man, has said. And have you seen anybody else talk about Kissinger in the White House and Pieczenik? Anybody? Go and find me that person. This is the power of data analytics and keeping this stuff ghettoized on the net. So I told you, the internet's dead. I'm just here to survive. So they develop their cultural intelligence. We run leadership development programs that inspire and equip people to work across boundaries through exposing people to new experiences, new leaders, and new perspectives. They improve their own leadership. We offer programs to university students preparing for their careers, right through to global C-suite executives at the peak of their careers. And cities are our classrooms, especially smart cities. Technology designed in Israel, manufactured in China. Because cities are where leaders and boundaries converge. The 65,000 Common Purpose alumni worldwide, the cadre, the communist cadre, the 65,000 Common Purpose alumni worldwide are better equipped as leaders. And this has a positive impact on the organisations and cities that they operate in. They're able to build broader networks, make better decisions, and drive bold innovation. Founded in 1989, 4,000 leaders now benefit from our programs every year. We run leadership programs for leaders at 3 different career stages: students, emerging leaders, and senior leaders. We work with organisations in many ways to fulfil their leadership program development needs: customized programs, social impact programs, and student programs. Already here in England, the mayors from across the political spectrum are uniting and revealing their common purposes. This is all Masonic, this is all communist Masonic. In early November, the London Standard, edited these days by former Chancellor George Osborne, in an article, quote, we mayors need more power to boost growth across Britain. The mayors outlined what they think the situation is via a joint statement issued by Sadiq Khan, high-level Mason, Tim Bales, Andy Burnham, Ben Hoochin, and James Palmer, Steve Rotherham, and Andy Street. Citizen and metropolitan regions are increasingly the main engines of economic growth and job creation across the world, including here in Britain. The 7 areas we lead as mayors account for nearly 39% of all British growth. This growth has brought huge benefits, not just in the cities and regions we lead. However, it has also meant challenges, including huge demand for new housing and transport infrastructure, tackling poor air quality and pressure on public services. This is 2017, pre-Corona. Remember, Corona's great. The air quality is so much better. The electric cars and the Tesla are coming, the Israeli front. Not to mention the driverless vehicles coming. And it's all coming out of Israel. Successive governments have recognised the need to give our cities, regions and nations a greater say over their future. The last Labour government created the London Mayoralty as well as the Scottish Parliament and Welsh Assembly. The last Conservative-led government established the new metro mayors in Greater Manchester, West Midlands, the Liverpool City region, West of England, blah, blah, blah. Despite this welcome progress, Britain remains one of the most centralised states in the Western world. As mayors, we have far less control over the key economic levers and far less say over the management of public services than our counterparts in other cities around the world. This means we are less able to shape and improve our city economies or tailor services to meet the needs of local people. We are seeking more control and powers based on the individual needs of our regions, criminal justice, health and care services, work and pension issues, and schools. Crucially, this should include significant fiscal devolution to city regions. This is Steve Pachenik talking now. Crucially, this should include significant fiscal devolution to city regions. Rather than individual grants or handouts, we should be given greater control over existing taxes and revenues. This would give us the tools and incentives we need to increase future economic growth and create new jobs right across the UK. You can read the full article there. With all this in mind, we are drawn back to report. Actually, you can go and read this yourself. You get the point. You know what's going on. There's the number of terrorists increased rapidly. We'll need more cameras. We'll need more control mechanisms, blah, 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 blah. This guy, he's in The Guardian. Belgian mayor wins World Prize for work on integrating immigrants, blah, blah, blah. You see it all coming together. Let's read the last ones. The way forward, last but certainly not least, make for interesting reading. Several very informative chapters. Who leads and who does what? Multi-agency coordination, community engagement and public-private partnerships. Preventing violent radicalisation, program design and evaluation towards a European local action plan. And terrorism and resilience, a historical perspective. Where does all this cities led by mayors from across all divides working together, leading the way and wanting to lead the way to more of extent, leave the nations they leave behind? So this is the end of the nation state. This is the breakup. This is the breakup. Now, into corporatism, Rothschild, private intelligence agencies, private armies, private data analytics, private listening, private NSAs, privatized everything. Privatized everything. Do you see what's happening? This whole libertarian garbage. Even Jones has come out and said, yeah, libertarian's a load of crap. It is. So what? You pull back and become independent? What happens? You pull back out of politics? It's too dirty. I don't want to get involved. What happens? Well, you know what happens? In walks the corporate sector and they take over because they love politics. Jewish power and the political Zionist movement loves politics. Meanwhile, you saps get out there on the street and make fools of yourselves, run around with your guns, but you won't involve yourself in politics on a daily basis. Basically, you write one letter to one politician. He didn't give you a smiley face or a personal reply. Give up. Then I read the letter you send me and you sound like a lunatic and you wonder why. But none of you can just simply Google how to lobby a politician. It's that simple. You can read books and read endless articles and watch endless videos on how to lobby a politician, how to become politically effective, how to become an agent of change. You can do all of that, but you can't be bothered. Get your guns instead. Woo, we love America. Let's go get the Maoist Marxist meth heads in Portland. Good on you, Alex Jones. That's the only solution, Alex Jones. That's because at the very least, he's a complete and utter effing moron. Just saying. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you to the Magical Unicorn for that article. Just going over again. Remember this stuff. Remember the Hegelian dialect. We're going to have to go back. All Bill Cooperish and Eustace Mullins and Ezra Pound and Reverend Ted Pike. You got to go back in time to this crap. The Hegelian dialect, it's all Rothschild. He funded the drag queen story time. So you'll stop talking about bankers, which they were panicking after the 2008 collapse. 5 trillion went missing. Where's all those issues we've all forgotten about? Where's all the money transferred out of the United States? That's building the Belt and Road right now. How does Xi Jinping even pay for it? The one's useless and worthless. It's in twice as bad shape as the United States, but he's still running around buying stuff left and right. He's got to use euros and US dollars. He can't use yuan. No one wants it. Where did he get the money from? He got it from you, America. When the Rothschild banking dynasty collapsed and just dragged all that money out, and Obama signed the form for another couple of trillion, and voila, and they paid themselves bonuses. You've forgotten about Lehman Brothers. And the arrogance of those people. The arrogance. $40 million bonuses, $50 million. Instead of hanging their heads in shame and panicking they were going to get strung up, they just paid themselves bonuses, and you sat there and watched them. The Maoists, the commies, the left versus right, the rednecks. Everyone's forgotten Wall Street. Everyone's forgotten the City of London. Everyone's forgetting the bankers. All wars, including civil wars, are banker wars. And you've got a bunch of clowns and a bunch of idiots. I mean, my God, have you seen the latest with Sean Atwood? We're going to link Robert David Steele. Here's something for you. Do you want to see a picture? What do you think of this picture? Thank you to the people that sent me this very important information. Robert David Steele with Roger Stone. That's not fake. In winding up, let's quickly watch the end of a video. This video I put out a long time ago. Roger Stone, I put it out in 2019, April. Roger Stone, Epstein, sexual blackmail from Russia with love. We're going to go watch the end. 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, everybody. I'm a little nervous, I'll be honest with you. My dad always told me two things about giving speeches. One, never say anything bad about the Jews. And two, tell an interesting story.
That's Roger Stone's lover. He has a child with her, and she compromised Wall Street bankers. That's what Roger Stone does for a living. Army intelligence linked with demonology and General Jim James. That's why I wanted to speak to Patrick Berge.
Anything incongruous about that? On the other hand, the increasing influence of the workers and farmers and the rising political importance of men of science may transform the United States into a welfare state with a planned economy. Incredible as it may seem, Stalin's Soviet Union was once at the center of Israeli identity.
You're an educated sort of a swine. An artist is a bloke who can hold two fundamentally opposing views and still function. Who dreamed that one up?
Scott Fitzgerald.
Well, Fitzgerald knew a thing or two. And I'm definitely functioning. As a good socialist, I'm going where the money is. As a good capitalist, I'm sticking with the revolution because if you can't beat it, spy on it. Don't look like that, George. It's the name of the game these days.
Okay, it's a very good video. You can see it there. It's video 32. Roger Stone, Epstein, sexual blackmail from Russia with love. It is 18 months old, that video. Okay, this is very slapdash. It's Saturday. It is the 5th of September. It is 9:17 a.m. Thank you to everyone who's donated, and just keep fighting on. Whatever happens, and I don't even dare say what's going to happen, but September's a big month. If something big doesn't happen, I don't think it's going to happen. But certainly by Christmas, I expect a lot of the stuff to be released. Ideally, you're going to see suddenly Trump run out, sack Fauci. He's going to right hook, beat everyone all of a sudden and be the hero, and everyone will cheer. Remember, Trump is the hero. I said it in this video. Alex Jones admits Trump a product of US Army intelligence. Watch that video, then you'll understand Roger Stone working with Denology, General Jim Jones and his son James, and you'll understand why Alex Jones had a fit. I mean, I've got to get the video where he's having a fit after Patrick Berge linked Roger Stone with Army intelligence and General James Jones. All right, sexual compromise, you'll learn everything. I mean, Roger Stone is a major methamphetamine, cocaine addict, drug trafficker, you name it. He hasn't found Jesus, he's a bullshit artist, and he's a piece of garbage. And Alex Jones and the crew are leading you down the garden path. All right, they're all equally suck. Do you truly believe if the Democrats were serious about winning an election, do you think they'd put up Biden? They would have put up Bernie Sanders, who said intelligent things. Or wait for the next video. Because you can love or hate Bernie Sanders. I'm neither left nor right. I'm Bill Cooper. I hate them all. But it's up to us. If we want decent politicians, we better start lobbying routinely and engaging in the political process instead of hiding on Facebook. That's the bottom line. It's our fault. It's your fault. It's my fault. Stop blaming the politicians. They're all pieces of crap, unemployed actors. I mean, I doubt there's a waiter or waitress left in LA because they're all got crisis actor jobs now. I don't believe anything I see anymore. I have to think twice before I believe anything. The one thing that does seem real is there seems to be some sort of war brewing in the South China Sea, but I just don't know how far they'll go. I just know this. China goes nowhere without US technology. It can't build a chip without US technology. Taiwan Semiconductor can't build a chip without US technology. And even though the Dutch and the Netherlands, they have their amazing machines, admittedly, that build the machines, that was given to them by the US. That was a gift. The US dominates, and if we get this devolution happening where the states are devolving and you see these city-states rising up, you're going to see ghettoization of the United States. Meanwhile, Russia and China are keeping centralized. Do you notice that? Alex Jones has done nothing but polarize along with the opposition. Left wing, right wing, they all work for Rothschild, they all work for Wall Street and the bankers and army intelligence. It's Iran, Contra, army intelligence. Drug trafficking, sex trafficking, sexual compromise, weapons, and above all, running around with private security contractors, mercenaries, privatizing data analytics, and effing us all. You cannot take these sides. You can't do it. I have no solution for you other than to understand the system and how it works and take it from there. Good luck. New videos coming up soon. Have a great weekend.
I have never been an aficionado of the Constitution. The reason for it, it's outdated. And what's happening now is we're coming into a new realism, a hyper-realism, where the states become more important. The devolution of power from the federal government, I told you, it's happening very quickly.